Greetings, beloved. Twin flame separation is over. Can you imagine how great it feels to be back into sacred union with your beloved? Well, I have these 3 telltale signs that I have seen not only in myself and my beloved when we finally ended our twin flame separation and went through the portal, the eye of the needle, but also in our clients, our friends, our soul family, and many of our fans here on YouTube. So here is the first sign. The first sign is that there is a gift in the shift. There's a massive shift in the way that our soul, our psyche, and ourselves is operating. It's a huge awakening that would not have come if we hadn't gone through the separation. So the first thing implies that there is a purpose to twin flame separation. That's the point. Separation is actually one of the phases in alchemy, and in twin flame alchemy as we teach it, separation is where we're really pulling apart the truth, where we're pulling the baby out and we're cleaning out the bathwater and we're deciding what it is that's important to us. So usually in this twin flame separation, the shift of the gift is we come in with a new sense of knowing of who we are, a deep divine connection that we never thought was possible, and an awareness of how we were operating as a little bit of a naughty, immature, or broken soul. But truly none of us are broken, and I should actually clarify that we're not broken. We are meant to be whole, and we operate from illusions and pains. So in the gift, we're able to see where we were coming from, our fears and our shadows and our belief systems coming from lack, our wounds. And the gift is this intense, almost like ecstatic awakening that happens, and there's no going back. And it has nothing really to do with the person in front of you, including your twin flame. It is an alchemical shift that's happening on the deepest and most exquisite soul level. I can speak for myself, and I've definitely been blessed with witnessing it within my clients and my soul family. And for me, my hidden love blind spot was that I thought I'd gotten over it. I thought I'd broken this pattern, but no, I was operating from an abandonment pattern. And in my relationship with my now husband, Jack, my then supposed twin flame, who said that we needed to take some time off, we needed to separate, things weren't working well, and I knew he was right. We had some things to work on our own. For me, I went out to the hiking trail near our home every day for multiple hours, and I sat and I meditated. And deep in my abandonment fears, knowing that he very well might not come back, I dove deeper and deeper and deeper into the pain, into the bowels of hell within my soul. And in fact, I think I had some like purging after meditations, which is quite common. Physical cellular release. So I got to this place where I cried and cried until I felt this love and joy and an unstoppable knowing that I was the one for me. And no matter who left me, all the people that had left me time and time again, so many bad breakups and wounds and heartbreaks with romantic partners, with sisters and friends and systems and sports teams. And I let it all go in the name of finding this holy space, this whole space that had always been there, that I had not fully tapped into and listened to. And I started listening to it, and I started channeling these beautiful messages of wisdom, and I started taking action. And one of the actions to take was to actually self-pleasure, to touch myself, and to become my own lover, my own beloved, and to make that love with nature. And to feel that frequency, and to have this kundalini energy moving through my body on the land. And it wasn't about anyone, it was about the one, the creator. And I moved it through my body in ways I've never done before. And instead of being this needy, hurt, wounded little girl, my beloved came back, and he opened the door, and he saw the strength in my eyes, and he saw the true love that I did and still do to this day and have always had for him. But no longer was it coming from longing, was it coming from lack. It was coming from this fertile, feminine, ecstatic energy. We worked through the blocks because I was my own whole mate, and he in turn had become his, because this is what happens every time when we heal, our twin flame heals. Now, some people say, well, I'm more healed and they're dysfunctional and they're blocked and they're addicted and they're not waking up spiritually. People who say that are actually not honoring the twin flame laws. That when we're actually judging and pointing a finger at someone else and we're expecting them to fulfill us, we're not acknowledging that we're in a toxic cycle of expectation, blame, shame, and judgment. And usually that comes from a early childhood wound, a blueprint, a love blueprint of family members, oftentimes parents, that weren't able to give to the child. So the child had to heal. We call it upheal. The child had to heal the parents and try and please the parents. And then we grow up and we end up having to fulfill a partner who doesn't actually want to change. But it's merely a sign in the twin flame mirror that we have some wounds to heal. So anybody who's been on a twin flame path for a long time, many moons, or maybe even years have gone by, and there's still that, well, it's them, it's them, it's them. We want to really love and heal ourselves and look at why we've been manifesting this trouble. But truly, when we're at that end time of the twin flame separation, we're not in that trouble. We're not in that pain. We're feeling full and like this almost orgasmic, this ecstatic connection to the divine, this unstoppable Christ force energy moving through us. Like we can create miracles and it doesn't depend on that person outside of ourselves. It's that internal, the force. Force is with you and you know that you can create beyond illusions. And that ultimately is the gift. And now sign number 2 is that you and your twin flame no longer judge and blame and point fingers. And in the past, it was like it was his job to show up for me, and I was angry when he didn't, and I was entitled to my anger because those were my emotions. But I wasn't coming from my healed whole self. I was coming from, he needs to change. He needs to meet my expectations. He needs to love me. But really, deep down, I was a wounded, hurt, and sad little girl or teenager, or these different layers. And I had to work through each of them with my guides, with my healers, my therapists, my coaches. And through that healing process, empowered in my center, I ended up pulling my beloved in who mirrored my power. And our connection mirrors that beautiful power of 2 supercharged whole beings who forgive each other. And Jack and I, to this day, will forgive each other for those patterns that do come up over time. Yesterday, we were sitting at this beautiful cafe overlooking this massive blue water swimming pool at one of our favorite resorts in Bali. And we were sitting here like, there feels like something's off in our relationship. We're getting into like these little nitpicky arguments and we're upset. And we sat down, we had a conversation. We realized the pressure that we've been putting on ourselves in different areas of our lives. And in that pressure, we wanted to be scooped up by the other person. And I was busy with solving the things that I had on my plate, and Jack was busy solving the things that he had on his plate. And they were quite adult matters to be solved. And we realized that our inner children had felt abandoned because the other person hadn't expressed to the other person our deepest love language. And for Jack, his love language is touch. If you don't know the 5 love languages, you can look that up. We were getting in this conflict and Jack said, you know, I want to be touched. And I said, I want to be praised. I like those words of affirmation. And we started to put our swords down, and instead of butting heads and trying to win the war, I put my hand on him. And surrendering my sword, I just melted and I started crying. This grief was coming out. I said, I feel like you don't love me, and sometimes I feel like you don't care. And he's like, of course I love you. He's like, I guess I haven't really expressed that lately. And like he softened too and is like, whoa, twin flame mirror tool like really works. And so it's funny how we can get in these battles with our beloveds and we can lose who we are in the world, even when we become woke and we have these shifts. So it continually takes that practice to bring it home. But the battle tool of blame or judgment does not work. Forgiveness, compassion, and seeing your beloved as a mirror of yourself, whew, that is the second sign that you are winning the twin flame love game and that separation is coming to an end soon. Now, the third and final sign that I'll be sharing today is there is twin flame magic happening for you. You two have put down the battle swords. You've had this amazing awakening. You've got the gift. You're activated in the force. And now there's this magic. There's this desire to co-create together. You feel it in yourself, and you feel it coming, and you feel like this bubbling up of something that has been inside you forever. And now you know that you have the resources between you and your twin flame and all the spiritual, physical, material tools that you can access together as a couple. The inspiration feels unstoppable, and there's a commitment. I'm excited, and let's ground it in this world and take action. Things start to feel possible. Even the impossible starts to be like, well, what if we just shift it and we go a different way? Even if maybe you came from two different religions and it was like, how can we get around this? And suddenly that problem isn't there anymore. And people start to forgive you for things that they were judging you for. They let go and they accept you. The people that were giving you trouble are now, well, I kind of understand, or maybe they're even supporting you and praising you and telling you that you're brave. Yeah, this happened for me. I had family members that said, it's never going to work with you and Jack. You guys have this problem and it's unfixable. My own mother, who's a therapist, said, you know, he has this pattern, you have this pattern. It's not going to work. And I said, wait a minute, Mom, you had that same pattern and it applied to me in this way. And part of why I'm in this pattern lock with Jack, it's because my inner child was scared and I never felt I had the voice. So we healed it, you and I. Why not Jack? And she was like, that is a good point. So I even brought my force and my gift and my strength into my relationship with my own mother, right? And they're our creator goddesses, because I was at that point where I knew my truth. And that is ultimately part of the magic, is we're in that deep center in ourselves where we just know. We just know, and it's magical and it's divine, and it is a wholemate experience where you are whole within yourself. You are your own holy wholemate. Your universe is your YO universe, and ain't nothing gonna stop you. Not even your twin flame who might not be there. Not even a person, not even a situation. You are just coming in with that full force, and that magic starts to bubble up, and it's very strong in 5D, and you're taking action in 3D. Not just one or the other, they're merging. The twin flame, heaven and earth come together at the heart. Now I have an incredible event that Jack and I are running in Bali on October 18th to 25th, a week-long retreat that we have put off for 3 years because Bali was locked down, as was most of the world for the pandemic. And now that we're open again, Retreat, Pray, Love Bali is happening for single spiritual women ready to call in their lasting twin flame union. Here in Ubud, Bali, we'll gather together at a sacred site. The retreat itself is on the outskirts of town. Quiet, you can walk into town in 5 minutes, yet this is a healing resort. There's a raw food cafe, a sacred spa. There is rice field walks nearby, sacred lands, and you can just feel the magic of Mama Bali supporting you. We're going to be doing excursions to some powerful sacred sites, including the pyramids of Chi, where we'll do a twin flame activation and a sound healing activation. Yes, there are pyramids in Bali and they are so powerful. We'll also be supporting you with creating your twin flame self-marriage ritual, a ritual that helped me to manifest my twin flame here in Bali on 11/11/11. And we'll be making our twin flame self-marriage rings, a ring that you'll have to keep to put on your altar to wear at any time, that will encode the frequency of your twin flame activation here. I wore the ring when I went through my twin flame separation, and it brought me deep trust, surrender, and peace while we were in separation. And then I switched it back to this finger, and now I get to wear both rings. At Retreat, Pray, Love Bali, you get to have an incredible soul family, sisters coming from all around the world. Plus, I'm going to introduce you to locally based healers, Balinese and internationally based healers who have gifts to share on your twin flame journey. Plus, we'll be diving into deep twin flame workshops based on our 11 phases of twin flame alchemy formula. You'll get coaching from Jack and I, as well as my channelings, readings, healings, his divine masculine activations, and all kinds of other magic. Don't miss out on Retreat Pray Love, and we do have an early bird special. I'll put the coupon code below. It does expire on the end of this month, and there are limited spots available. So check it out, and thank you for joining me. I hope to see you in the next video. Namaste, namasko.